the landmark resignation of Alan Kyerematen from the NPP. Now, of course, it's not the first time he's resigned. He's resigned before, actually. I actually saw something online yesterday. And Elvis, I'm going to come to you on this one. In April of 2008, when Alan Kyerematen resigned from the New Patriotic Party, there were attempts, and I'm reading from Graphic Online, back in 2008, okay? It's a graphic.com.gh. There were attempts to persuade him back into the fold of the NPP. A former chairman and elder of the NPP, Mr. B.J. Darocha, made a prediction. And let me read the prediction. Mr. B.J. Darocha said that it would not be in the best interest of the NPP to receive Alan Kyerematen back into the NPP. His reason was that he could become a disruptive factor in the party, a stumbling block and a loose cannon, quote unquote. The party has an election to win. We should concentrate our efforts on the task ahead and let him go his way in peace, Mr. Darocha said in a report filed by the Ghana News Agency in 2008. Elvis.
Well, is it people? We are all different people. Yeah. Those who have not really known the man, but those who know him say he's somebody who speaks his mind frankly. If he's convinced about something.
He was the former director of the Ghana Law School.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, serious guy.
He just doesn't care who you are. Where he has to put the issue, he'll put it there. He doesn't care who is involved. So I'm not surprised. But see, he wrote this letter in an official capacity of the party.
Yeah.
And to use words like a loose cannon in such an official letter at that point for me, it was a little overboard. You could say, you think that he may become a problem, but to go to the extent of using words like loose cannon, I think that he went a little overboard in that. But for me, that's a past event. I think we should just
look at what's happening now.
That's the point. Alan says he's going to contest as an independent candidate. In politics, everything is possible. So there's no harm in trying. You can either be successful or ended up killing your political career. We have seen it happen to people like Obeda Samoa going to form his own party. Reku Bobe has gone to form his own party. Dr. Indum went to form his party. Guzitando went to form party. Odike has gone to form party. There is precedent of people going to form their own party or leaving their party to go independent. In all those elections, rejected ballot beat all of them. Rejected ballot beat all of them in all the elections they contested in Ghana. All the elections we have had, rejected ballot has only been the third position before all the others had come. So at this point, there is a lot of history about.
Yeah, it's a very wicked man.
But
You are saying,
elections.
wait. You are saying that all the sport ballots were even more than the votes they got.
All of them. That's the record of the Electoral Commission. All the elections we had in Ghana. If you take NPP and NDC out, the next highest vote in all our national elections is rejected ballot. That's the record, it's there. Nobody has been able to beat rejected ballot yet. Maybe 2024 it may change or it may not change. We don't know. So we should understand that many people have treaded this path in the past, but the results that came out of a general election really didn't show that Ghanaians as a people will be interested in an independent candidate or be interested in a candidate even on the ticket of another party that is so brilliant. I've always said some of the proposition of persons like Dr. Pakwesi Ndum, for me, I believe in some of his propositions as to the way forward for Ghana. When he talked about using smaller numbers of ministers, he talked about changes to the constitution. He has some very fine proposals, but Ghanaians rejected all this at the polls. Dr. Abu Sakara, fine person, has said we should make him a Greek minister for life for Ghana, to can make a Greek attractive. But they won't listen, so they won't make him a Greek minister for life. He contested such a fine brain, Ghanaians rejected him badly. We've seen very fine candidates who have stood as independent candidates, Marie Kofi Ghani and some guys, brilliant financial guys, came out with so many ideas, they were rejected.
Kofi Ghani, by the way.
I've said about 90%
No.
of Ghanaians are stuck to their parties. They don't care who the candidate on the ticket is. They care about which party is going to the election. And that has trended for all the elections in the Fourth Republic. And I've always said that until something happens in an election year, I can say that with the past records, Ghanaians, about 90%, are stuck to their political parties, irrespective of what you say. Even whatever rancor that is within the party, they are still going to vote for that party. If they decide not to vote, they won't vote for the opposition. They will rather be apathy. Is what will happen. I will not vote for opposition, so I won't go and vote at all. That is what the Ghanaian election has been about till now. So with Alan taking the decision to go, I think that is a test. He has always talked about his appeal to the general public, population and everything. I think he's now going to put that to test. And 2024 will speak for everybody to see whether that appeal and all the things he thinks will work for him, will work. And it's a gamble, and he has decided to take that gamble. What he has done may not to his benefit. It may also not to his benefit. It could be to his advantage. It may, if it's not his benefit, it will be a problem for the NPP. If it fails, and people say, why should you resign and say you are going independent? There may be people in the NPP who are pathetic today who may say, I won't vote in 2024. But maybe because of Alan's decision to leave, they may be invigorated to say, we want to teach somebody that the party is bigger than every individual. So I want to go and vote to tell, to send a message that the party is what we all rally around. So if it fails to work for him, it will rather work to the advantage of the NPP, where many people who may not want to vote may say, because of that decision, I think the party must send a message, so I want to go to the polls. So a lot of dynamics are going to come up. If it works for Alan, it will favor NDC, because it means that he will pick votes that should have gone to the NPP, and then that will create the room for NDC to be easily a winner. So that is another issue. And if NDC also should sit down and say, oh, we think that Alan is going out, so it's going to affect NPP, so we won't do our work. And then those who are apathetic in the NPP decide that we'll rise up and go to the polls. The NDC may also be caught off guard. So there are a lot of dynamics in the whole issue that will happen. For me, my advice to the airline camp is that I don't want to hear that EC has disqualified him. You see, as a candidate, you are only contesting on the ticket of the party. The party does all the work. How you get to regional offices to meet all the requirements for you to register as a candidate is done by the party. Now you are living as an independent candidate. He should be able to constitute a team that should sit down and say the first thing to do is to take the EC's requirement, make sure that everything that we are supposed to do, we're able to do it, so that when it comes to the time for us to register and enter the role, he will be there. Because most of the times, they may be focused on we are going to convince the people to vote for the candidate, and we'll forget that there's work to be done to be able to meet the requirement of the EC. And at the end of the day, you got the polls and you ended up being disqualified. Then you hear all kinds of accusations that I'm being disqualified because of A, B, C. But probably you really have not taken your time to do your work, because that work would have been done for you if you were on the ticket of the party. You don't even have anything to think about as to whether your candidate qualifies or not.
Okay, Larry. Now, your namesake. He's also called Alan. There were actually prophecies that he was going to be the flag bearer of the NPP. I don't know whether it's prophecy misruled or which one it is, but
who prophesied?
There was the Glorious Word Chapel.
Reverend Owusu
Bempa was one of them. There was another one. There was a second one as well that I've actually read on social media and all of that. So there was that. Then he doesn't. He himself said, and his campaign team said that we were poised. We're going to win the primaries and everything else. He doesn't see the primaries through. He's out of it. What suggests that he will even see this next leg of the whole process through, even as he has declared his independence? Will he see it through till 2024 so that we see him on the ballot in 2024? Or is likely to, halfway through the year next year, decide that, you know what, it's okay, I won't do it
again? Thank you. I mean, this morning, I had a very good laughter, reading the stories and then watching the video and all that. And I had difficulty appreciating Alan. You get it?
Yeah.
I think it's an issue of stamina. He doesn't have political stamina.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
He says he's been doing, 31 years of
No, he
service.
doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. And he doesn't have political maturity also backing him. So you could be there,
Yeah.
you know, for 50 years. But if politically you are not matured or you are not fully baked, I mean, you'll be taken to the market all right, but then you'll be a market reject. You get it? I'm saying this relative to President Akufo-Addo, or Akufo-Addo in opposition.
Yeah.
I hear 92 he tried, or he didn't?
No, he didn't try.
Okay, but then 96 he was there. He lost to Kufuor. Okay. Then Kufuor
Before they decided not to contest.
yeah, not to contest because President Kufuor was in
207,
office.
yeah.
Then 207, you know,
contested.
he contested when everything was set. Everybody, I mean, those of us who were in the media space back then, were only waiting that he would be coronated. Okay? Then he went, and I mean, the first poll, he came atop, is that it?
Yeah.
And then there was a runoff between him and President Mills.
Yes.
And President Mills reduced him to nothing. Then he came midway, President Mills dies. And then President Mahama comes.
Yeah.
Okay? Or candidate Mahama comes. And also flopped him, Basa. Okay? Then, I mean, when everybody thought that the man was done and out politically, here he was, he had emerged again, 2015.
2014, 2015.
And see what he did to President Mahama.
Yeah.
A sitting
President.
for the first time in the history of the country. You understand?
And losing by the biggest margin
listen.
too,
Yeah.
in the Fourth Republic.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean, punches be what? Do you understand? I mean, I recall some of my headlines at the time. do you get it?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he's drag guy, he's
short.
weed guy, he's
sold
short.
his father's property.
Yeah, he sold his father's property. He's done this, he's done that. He's arrogant and all
Do you
that.
remember that at that time too, there was this thing where he's not a John.
Yeah.
Because all of them, the
yeah,
president had the Johns.
Yes.
He was not like Adam Johnson.
You know,
I remember that one, man.
do you get it?
Yeah.
I mean, you punch the guy, and then here he comes.
Yeah.
And I recall.
And you know Alan is a John, by the way.
Yes.
So at that time, that was the issue.
Yes.
They said Alan is a John, so Alan should go
Alan
right
for
now
the
because
Johns.
John for the Johns.
And then Williams came to the John.
You know.
With the biggest margin in the Fourth Republic.
Yeah.
So, and you get shocked. I recall Sir John, God bless his soul, saying, "Now listen, even if the man was
He's
in a wheelchair,
they'll bring him.
they'll bring him." You understand?
Yeah.
So over the years, Akufo-Addo had developed some level of stamina and maturity. Okay, that cannot be said of Alan.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, anything could happen. I just cited how President Mills, from number 2, came to flop Akufo-Addo, who was in number 1.
Yeah.
And President Mills was not an active politician
No.
like Akufo-Addo.
Like Akufo-Addo.
No, he wasn't.
Somebody sitting his
Classroom guy, tax
Some
guy,
guy
you
to
know.
sit there to teach.
Sorry, I recall that you go to some of these NDC rallies to cover, and then they want to chant him, and he's like, listen, I don't like that, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Do you understand? He wasn't your average politician who
And his candidate was a problem in NDC because
Yes.
the generalists imposed
Imposed
him on
him on
them. So the NDC was actually fighting. People say they can't win the election.
from the Suede Road declaration.
Declaration, yeah.
You understand it?
Now, you, Alan, today you are complaining about Baumia being imposed on NPP. President Kufuor imposed you on NPP.
Yeah, that's also true. I don't know why he seems to have
Resources
forgotten
were,
that one.
were put at your disposal. I recall as a young reporter then, I remember talking to Mr. Hackman Owusu-Agyemang, who complained bitterly about how Kufuor was,
It's like forcing this person on us.
Forcing state resources. Sometimes by the time they got to a particular constituency or region to campaign, the people they had called to gather, delegates, Alan had used presidential jet to get there before them. So then they get there and then everything is gone. The people have had dispersed.
It's like opposition complain about incumbency advantage.
Yeah.
There will not be an incumbency advantage.
By all means.
So your opposition complains, it's a waste of time. Focus on the work, not the income. The person is president. And they say because he's going to re-election, he will use state resources. What do you want him to use?
Yeah.
Work on the people. See, so this issue sometimes
you had become what you call it. He talked about 2007 and what happened in Legon and so on. Before we got to Legon, we all knew what had happened to a point where the party was divided. Akufo-Addo and then President Kufuor. People felt that, listen, President Kufuor was using state resources to prop you. Yeah. And that Akufo-Addo was rather the underdog. Is that it? Yeah. And so, things were not whatever it was. Security was tight. Violence was on the ground. And that was where Polafoko was slapped.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
You get it. The tension was so much so that Alan indeed threw in the towel and said, I know something. Yeah. Listen, let Akufo-Addo go. But you see, letting Akufo-Addo go doesn't automatically make you
the next in line.
You need to work at it. Yeah. And he's failed to build networks.
Yeah.
He's failed to...
It almost seems as though every time there wasn't the election happening, he was just basically out of the limelight, not really doing much.
No, he's just waiting. I mean, he's waiting for the crown, thinking that, they will... Akufo-Addo was going to put it on.
This is not a monarchy.
Well, he made it seem so.
Or chieftains.
Okay.
President Kufuor came to beat Professor Dubois and became president.
Yeah.
Look at the way Professor Dubois did. Confronting Rawlings at that time and demanding democratic. Akufo-Addo was doing Kubi-Preku and all that. Which political event will you associate President Kufuor with at that time? That he came to the primaries, beat everybody. He became the candidate. 2000, he won and became election. He became president. J.H. Mensah, Kofi Konedo Prepo at that time.
And J.H. was big.
Look at the big guys.
J.H. was big.
Who came to beat everybody and became candidate.
J.H. was respected across. I mean, there was no doubt about that. And so for Kufuor, who was his in-law, by the way, Kufuor is married to J.H.'s sister.
Yes.
Teresa is same father, same mother. Yeah. And for the two of them to be in there, and for JH, without respecting our contact, and then, going to beat your own guy was just, but the point was that he had built a network. I was told, so recently, just a week ago, I was told that even Akufo-Addo didn't believe in Kufuor, at the time, and not Akufo-Addo alone, but there were several others who never believed in Kufuor's candidature. But when you mention it to Kufuor was like, listen, you are bound to see some of these things, but let's all put. But do you believe in me?
Yes. Let's do the job.
And then if you do, let's go and work.
Wow.
Do you understand? Wow. So he was building network. He wasn't throwing in the towel. He wasn't running away from anything and so on. But Alan,
and Kufuor's own really ran the Ashanti region.
Yes, but then the point is that you see what is happening now, where I think that the silence of President Kufuor, Kojo Mpieni, and then many of the guys who had backed Alan all over the year. He's putting them in a very awkward position politically. That might they be the ones behind him? Did you get it? Yeah. And I've heard comments about that. Listen, what is the Ashanti bloc in the NPP thinking? Could they be the ones sponsoring this guy?
Gentlemen.
Oh, you want to run?
Yes.
Why?
It's okay. Enough said. We're going to see whether he's going to do this thing or not.
And let's come to the current national chairman.
No, it's okay.
Let's come to the current national chairman.
We're running out of time.
Let's come to the current national chairman.
The other day
we're trying to contest for chairmanship for 20 years.
Yeah.
Stephen Tim, do you know the kind of complaints he had that machinations against him, that's why he couldn't become chairman? All this years. Politics is about some small mafia.
So
Alan, years time, he's chairman of the NPP.
Alan should not have resigned.
No, if you ask me, politically, I think that he's done so much for the party that he shouldn't have resigned. And that he should have maintained himself in the party.
At least get some elder statesmanship type of...
He will be some form of power broker within the party. So the NPP constitution says that if you cross carpet, you're no longer NPP member. So all the people who are even backing him, who See, now
They've
they are
all
all saying,
declared
we are not
that
going with
yes,
you.
we are not going
We are not going with
Yeah,
you.
it's true. They've all
OPK
withdrawn.
says I'm not going.
Yeah.
Abraham says to me, I am a
Yeah.
party member.
Yeah.
He talks to them, so no, I'm a party member because the constitution is clear.
Even Boniface.
So now
Boniface is saying that, you know, so they ask him,
Yeah.
have you also left MPP? He says, no. I mean, it's like me a Christian, but changing church. You are still a Christian.
You understand? So right now, I ask myself, the people who actually did all the work for him in these primaries, they are party people.
Yeah.
If they decide to stick with the party, is he not going to look for a new crop of people?
Yeah.
Now to start the because see, a presidential election in Ghana is a huge job.
Right.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
To gather the people and mobilize people to support you.
Davis,
It's not easy.
Why are you running?
No, it's okay. Thank you very much.